Gentlemen, you are the cream of the world's air forces. This country desperately needs your help. 6 months ago, an extremely well-armed and organized terrorist force carried out a coup d'etat. Attempts to free our country have been foiled by repeated surprise attacks. To avoid escalating this war and causing unacceptable civilian losses, we wish to employ your services. Surgical airstrikes and the elimination of enemy air superiority will tip the scales in our favor. You will receive remuneration commensurate with your positions as the premier top guns of the world. This is an evaluation of your operational abilities. Intelligence reports an enemy supply unit moving to resupply their forward positions. You should have the advantage of surprise. We should have localized air superiority for the duration of the operation. Target, C5A supply unit.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Oh! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Focus on our stick. Focus on our tail! Take off! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Focus on our stick. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Take off! Focus on our tail! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it! Focus on our stick. On our right! Let's return to mission, buddy! Focus on our stick. Up ahead! Take off! Fire! Shoot it down! Focus on our tail! Focus on our stick. On our right! Focus on our stick. Focus on our stick. Jesus, miss! Take off! Jesus, miss! Stay with him. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! On our right! Up ahead! Focus on our stick. Oh! Take off!
Warning! Warning! Body damage!
Focus on our
Alert!
stick.
Body damage! Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body
ahead.
damage!
Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Shoot him away! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. On our right. Up ahead. On our left. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Don't let him get away! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Take off! Don't let him get away! Stay with him! Bag one! Enemy targets located. Mission accomplished.
Immediate mobilization required. Our base's position was compromised in the last enemy push. Reports indicate imminent arrival of bombers. Scramble and ace those bogies. Target, B-52 Bomber Force.
Ready? Break now!
Warning!
Locked on us.
Warning!
Bogey on our 6. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Up ahead! Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail! Take off! Up ahead! And on our left! Bogey on our 6. Stay with him! Jesus, miss! Don't let him get away! Stay with him! Don't bogey on our 6! Bogey on our tail! On our right! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6!
Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body damage!
Take off!
Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body damage! Warning!
Locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy targets located.
Warning!
On our right!
Warning! Warning!
Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Electric turn. Bogey on our tail. Up ahead. Take off. Bogey on our tail. On our left. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6.
Warning!
Up ahead! Boogie on our tail! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Boogie on our 6. Up ahead!
1.
Fire!
Alert, body
Boogie
damage.
on our 6.
Alert, body
Stay with him.
damage.
Up ahead!
Alert, body damage.
Don't take
Alert,
off!
body damage. Alert, body
Stay with the
damage.
back one! Boogie on our 6. Boogie on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our right! Back one! Boogie on our tail! Enemy targets located. On our left! Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
On our
damage.
left.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Up ahead.
damage. Alert,
Fire!
body damage.
Down! Blew him away! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Blew him away! Jesus, missed! Mission accomplished.
AWACS report an enemy incursion in our sector. We are diverting you from local air support to forward operations. Neutralize the approaching units. Target enemy attacking force. Formation makeup is unknown. Expect enemy fighter support and a tough dogfight. Good luck.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! One! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Bogey on our tail! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Bogey on our tail! Take off! Up ahead! Away on our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Take off! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our 6. On our left! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Out! On our left! Up ahead! On our left! Bogey on our 6. On our left! Up ahead! On our right! sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Miss! On our right! Enemy in sight. Fire! Bingo! Yahoo! Stay with him. Blew him away. Let's return to mission, buddy. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. On our right. Focus on our six. Jesus, miss!
Alert, body damage.
Take off!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy up
Alert,
ahead!
body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in sight. On our left. Up ahead! Focus on our six. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Stay with him. On our right. Focus on our six. Stay with up ahead! Focus on our tail! Jesus, miss! Up ahead! On our right. Up ahead! Focus on our six. On our left. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Out! Let's return to mission, buddy. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Focus on our six. On our left. Enemy locked on us. Up ahead. Missile approaching. Dive. Dive. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Jesus, miss. Focus on our six. Enemy up ahead. On our left. Focus on our six. On our left. Focus on our six. On our right. Take off. On our left. Up ahead. Focus on our six. Take off.
Warning. Warning.
Enemy locked on us.
Warning.
Enemy missile approaching. Dive. Dive.
Caution.
Enemy locked on target. Up ahead. Bingo. Enemy target located. On our left. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Fire. Shoot it down. Bingo. Blew him away. Mission accomplished.
Up to now, our offensive missions have been constrained by the presence of civilians in Donut City. A recent evacuation of that city permits us to engage hard targets within the city perimeter. Target 1, Computer Communication Center. Target 2, Enemy Headquarters Building. Night conditions should neutralize enemy ground fire. However, the city has at least 3 interceptors available. We have no intelligence on force composition. From now on, you will have a wingman assigned to you. Inform him of the operation before departure.
Ready? Right now! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Up ahead! On our right! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Jesus, miss! Fire! Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Control! Pull out of it!
Engine stall.
On our right! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! On our right! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Up ahead! Jesus, miss! Enemy locked on target. On our right! Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Hey! Close! Take off! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our 6. Enemy up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him away! Enemy in sight. Jesus, miss! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Great shot! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked. Jesus, miss!
Alert, body damage. Alert,
Enemy locked on
body
target.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bingo! Yahoo! On our left. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our left. Enemy locked on bogey on our 6. Jesus, miss. On our right.
Warning.
Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on us. Fire. Missile approaching. Guide.
Caution.
On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Toast. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Focus 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in. Up ahead. Take off. Up ahead. Fire! Put it down! Jesus, miss! On our right! On our left! Bogey on our 6! Up ahead! Enemy in sight! Bogey on our 6! Enemy in sight! Fire! Put it down! Jesus, miss! Bingo! Yahoo! Back one! Bogey on our tail!
Warning.
Up ahead! Bogey on our 6! Enemy target located. On our right! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Toast! Jesus, miss! Enemy in sight.
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage.
Mission accomplished.
Reconnaissance indicates a weak link in their fuel supply infrastructure. A single pipeline transfers all crude oil from their fields to their refinery. Strike both the pipeline and the refinery. Target: oil refinery plant and oil field. Use the pipeline as a reference to the refinery. Locate and destroy.
Ready? Break now! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution.
Bogey on
Low
our six.
altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Flying! Take off! Enemy target located. Enemy target located. On our left! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our six. Great shot! Take off! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. On our left! Altitude too low. Flying!
Alert. Body damage.
I'm hit!
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert.
Bogey on our
Body
six.
damage.
On our left! Up ahead! Jesus, hit! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Put it down! Jesus! Bogey on our six! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Fire! Jesus! Hit! Bingo! Yeah! Wasted! On our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Put it down!
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage.
I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. On our left. Enemy. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our six. Bogey on our tail. Take off. On our right. Up ahead. Bingo! Yeah! Altitude too low. Flying. Bogey on our six. Take off. On our left. Bogey on our six.
Warning.
Take off.
Warning. Warning.
Jesus! Locked on our
Warning.
enemy.
Warning.
Bingo! Missile approaching. Dive. Dive. Bogey on our six. On our left. On our left. Up ahead. On our right. And bogey at 12 o'clock. On our left. Bogey on our six. Great shot. Take off. On our right. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target.
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body
Bogey on our
damage.
six.
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage.
On our left.
Alert. Body damage.
Bogey on our six. Bogey on our tail. Take off! Enemy targets located. On our left! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! On them, take off! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Bogey on our 6. On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Remove him away! I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Enemy in. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. On our right. Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot him down! Great shot! Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Take off.
damage.
Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Up ahead. On our right. Great shot. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. Let's return to mission, buddy. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! On our right! Up ahead!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Don't let him
damage.
get away!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. sight.
Caution.
Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Deep up ahead. On our right. Great shot. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. On our right. Enemy in up ahead. On our right. Enemy bogey on our 6. Mission accomplished.
The enemy has proved to have significant resources. This war of attrition is not to our advantage. We are now targeting key infrastructure sites. Target: resources mining system and production plant. Intelligence reports stealth fighters operating in this theater. Remember, their lack of radar signature makes visual sighting essential.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Great shot! Bogey on our 6. Let's return to mission, buddy. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Bogey on our 6. Take off. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down. Jesus, miss! Don't forget the shot! Stay with him.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Fire. Shoot down. Great shot. Don't let him get away. Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Take off. Bogey on our 6. Take off. West returns and misses. I'm losing him. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. On our right. Up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our tail. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot down.
Alert, body
Bogey on our
damage.
6.
Alert, body
On our right.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Up ahead.
Alert, body damage.
On our left. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Jesus, miss. Bogey on our 6. Stay with him. Take off. Enemy in sight. Fire. Shoot it down. Bag 1. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy on our left. Up ahead. Enemy target located. Enemy up ahead. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Take off. On our left.
Caution.
Pull out of it.
Engine stall.
Enemy target located. Jesus, miss. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Enemy target located. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Up ahead. Take off. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Great shot. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy on our left. Enemy locked on target. Great shot. Enemy target located. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. Fire! Wasted! And a great shot! Mission accomplished.
The enemy's ADCRS, Air Defense Command and Radar System, has been identified. We can expect a steep drop in enemy effectiveness if this site is destroyed. The enemy has an effective SAM kill zone around the target. Its one weak point is a narrow ravine leading to the base. This requires precision, nap of the earth flying. Target, enemy radar site. You have no effective countermeasures to this model of SAM. Exit the ravine and you are toast.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Toast! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Toast! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. All right.
Alert, body damage.
The enemy's ADCRS, Air Defense Command and Radar System, has been identified. We can expect a steep drop in enemy effectiveness if this site is destroyed. The enemy has an effective SAM kill zone around the target. Its one weak point is a narrow ravine leading to the base. This requires precision, nap of the earth flying. Target, enemy radar site. You have no effective countermeasures to this model of SAM. Exit the ravine and you are toast.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Down! Wasted! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Enemy target located. Locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Toast! Enemy target located. Enemy target located. Locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Blew him away! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked. Jesus! Bingo! Yahoo! Mission accomplished.
Regaining Donetsk City is a prime strategic consideration for the enemy. To forestall offensive operations, we will strike their staging area. Target, staging facilities and B-1 bombers. Our goal is to hit them just before their incursion begins.
Ready? Break now! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Mostly on our 6. On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on our left! Mostly on our 6. Don't let him get away. Take off. Mostly on our 6. On our right. Mostly on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Mostly on our 6. Enemy targets located. Take off! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Take him away! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy locked on us. Mostly on our 6. Missile approaching. Dive! On our left. Mostly on our 6. Mostly on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy on our left. Mostly on our 6. Jesus, missed! On our right. Up ahead, pull out of it!
Engine stall.
Focus 12 o'clock. On our right. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Up ahead! Mostly on our 6. Enemy in sight. Mostly on our 6. Shoot him away! Up ahead! Fire! Mostly on our 6. Enemy targets located. On our right. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, missed! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Great shot! Mostly on our 6. Take off! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy in sight! Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, missed! On our right! Up ahead! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, missed! Jesus, missed! Shoot him away! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located.
Warning.
Close to 12 o'clock. Focus on our tail. Focus on our 6. Take off. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. On our right. Enemy block takedown. Focus on our 6. Altitude too low. Fine.
Caution.
Take off.
Low altitude.
Mission accomplished.
Naval Intelligence report a transport heading to Nawikot Bay. Since it may be a troop transport, we need to sink it before it docks. Follow up with destruction of the island port facilities. The opposition is expected to consist of an enemy fighter wing of unknown composition and patrolling Aegis warships. The Aegis missile system is highly effective. Eliminate the warships quickly.
Ready? Break now! Enemy
Warning.
locked on us.
Warning.
Focus on our 6. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Up ahead! Focus on our 6. Jesus, miss! On our right! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Bring back one! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Focus on our 6. Up ahead! Enemy in focus on our 6. Wing! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! On our left! Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail! On our right! Focus on our tail! On our right!
Caution.
Pull out of it!
Engine stalled.
On our left! Focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Up ahead! Jesus, miss!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in
Alert,
sight.
body damage.
Fire! Shoot it down!
Alert, body damage.
Don't let him get away! Enemy targets located. Up ahead! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Jesus, miss! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Take your blue! Get him away! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail. Altitude too low. Flying. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Focus on our 6. On our right. Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. On our right. Enemy in sight. Focus on our altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
Take off.
Caution.
Too low. Flying.
Caution.
Great shot!
Alert, body
Damn it!
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body
On
damage.
our left. Enemy in sight. Enemy focus on our 6.
Alert, body
Damn it! Take
damage.
off.
Alert,
Enemy
body
in sight.
damage.
Ahead.
Alert, body
On our
damage.
left.
Alert, body damage. Alert,
Enemy
body
locked on.
damage.
Great shot! Altitude too low. Flying. Focus on our 6. Take off. On our right. Up ahead.
Warning.
Focus on our 6. Enemy targets located. Take off.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Wingman has been hit.
Warning.
Enemy in sight.
Warning.
Enemy
Warning.
targets located.
Warning.
Focus on our 6.
Warning.
Locked on us.
Warning. Warning.
Missile
Caution.
approaching.
Warning.
Dive.
Warning.
I'm losing him. Enemy targets located. On our right. Focus on our 6. Focus on our 6. Take off. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Enemy targets located. Enemy up ahead. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Jesus, miss. Enemy in sight. On our left. Up ahead. Fire. Jesus, miss. Focus on our
Alert,
6.
body damage.
On our
Alert,
right.
body damage. body damage. Alert, body
On our
damage.
left.
Alert, body
Enemy in
damage.
sight. Up ahead. On our right. Up ahead. Fire. Shooting down. Jesus, miss. Jesus, miss. Enemy in sight. Fire. Shooting down. Jesus, miss. Stay with him. Close. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on our
Alert, body damage.
Naval Intelligence report a transport heading to Nawikot Bay. Since it may be a troop transport, we need to sink it before it docks. Follow up with destruction of the island port facilities. The opposition is expected to consist of an enemy fighter wing of unknown composition and patrolling Aegis warships. The Aegis missile system is highly effective. Eliminate the warships quickly.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire!
Alert,
Focus on our
body
six.
damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in sight.
Alert, body damage.
Take off!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Focus on our
damage.
tail! Enemy in sight. Bingo! Yahoo! Altitude too low. Flying! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution. Low altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Flying!
Low altitude.
Bingo!
Caution.
Yahoo! Focus at 12 o'clock. Focus on our 6. On our left. Focus on our 6. Focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Take off. On our right. Focus on our tail. Let's return position, buddy. Enemy locked the bridge. Shot. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Enemy take off. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Altitude too low. Flying. Enemy target located. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. On our left. Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail. Enemy target located. Enemy in. On our left. Focus on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying. Altitude too low. Flying. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy altitude too low. Flying.
Warning.
Focus on our 6. Mission accomplished.
Your mercenary unit has proved its reliability. We request you aid in the extraction of one of our officers from the enemy mountain fortress. We can only send one unit without alerting the opposition. Target: cripple enemy air defense and land on their runway. Only you have the requisite skills. You will be paid handsomely.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Fire now!
Alert, body
Hold down our
damage.
6.
Alert, body damage. Alert,
Alright.
body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert,
Overhead.
body damage.
Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Jesus, miss! Jesus, miss! On our left! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Get back one! Jesus, miss! Let's return to mission, buddy! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our 6. Jesus, miss! Bingo! Bogey on our 6. Take off! On our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight.
Warning.
Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our
Alert, body
6.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert,
ahead.
body damage. Alert, body
Enemy in
damage.
sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Fire! Enemy targets located. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Get away!
captured port has become a key resupply facility for our forces. We cannot allow the enemy to cripple or recapture it. Current intelligence suggests the enemy is preparing a bombing raid utilizing stealth bombers. Even one can devastate the facility. Keep alert. Target, stealth bomber wing.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Jesus! Miss! On our left! Up ahead! On our left! Up ahead! Cody on our 6! Jesus! Miss! Jesus! Miss! Cody on our 6! Flex fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Take off! On our right! Cody on our 6! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Take back one! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our right! Cody on our tail! On our left!
Caution.
Pull out of it!
Engine stall.
Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Woohoo! Back one! On our left! Great shot! He's wasted! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Woohoo! He's wasted! Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Woohoo!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Mission accomplished.
The enemy is committing its huge mothership to this theater. They are growing desperate. Eliminate the mothership and their naval mobility is crippled. There are no reference points on the ocean. Pay attention to the operational map. Target mothership.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Take off!
Caution, alert, body damage. Alert,
Jesus,
body
miss.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Put it down! Jesus, miss! On our left. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Fire! Put it down! Bingo! Back one! On our left. Bogey on our 6. Take off!
Caution,
Bingo!
alert, body
Damage!
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Enemy locked on
damage.
target.
Alert, body damage.
Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Fire! Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. And up ahead! Fire! Put it down!
Caution,
Bingo! Back one! On our right!
alert, body damage. Alert,
Up
body
ahead.
damage. Alert,
On our
body
right.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Jesus! Quick!
Caution, alert, body damage. Alert,
ahead.
body damage. Alert,
right.
body damage.
Bogey on
Alert,
our
body
6.
damage. Alert,
right.
body damage.
Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Put it down! Oh! Jesus! Miss!
Caution, caution.
Enemy in sight. Jesus! Miss! Jesus!
Caution,
Miss!
caution.
Bingo!
Alert, body damage.
The enemy is committing its huge mothership to this theater. They are growing desperate. Eliminate the mothership and their naval mobility is crippled. There are no reference points on the ocean. Pay attention to the operational map. Target mothership.
Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Take
Low
off.
altitude. Caution.
Too low. Flying.
Low altitude. Caution.
Enemy targets located. Bogey on our tail. On our right. Enemy locked on target.
Caution.
Enemy altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
Low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
Bogey on
Caution.
altitude too low.
Low
Flying.
altitude.
And take off. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Take off. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude. Caution.
Too low.
Caution.
Flying. Great shot.
Caution.
Enemy targets located. On our left. Use it. Altitude too low. Flying. On our right. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead. On our right. Take off. Altitude too low. Flying. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead. West on our right. Bogey on our 6. On our altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
On our left.
Low altitude.
Bogey on our tail. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Bogey on our tail.
Low altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Flying.
Low altitude. Caution.
Enemy in sight.
Low
Altitude
altitude.
too low.
Caution. Low
On our
altitude.
left.
Caution.
On our altitude too
Low
low.
altitude.
Flying.
Caution. Low altitude. Caution.
Too low. Flying.
Low altitude.
Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Take
Low
off.
altitude.
Mission accomplished.
Despite the elimination of all fuel refineries, the enemy continues to conduct operations. You are assigned to recon for undetected fuel supplies. Even though this is just recon, engage and eliminate any opposition patrols. Good hunting!
Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Look at 12 o'clock. On our left. Bingo! Yahoo! And bogey on our 6. Jesus, missed! Bogey on our tail. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Put it down! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked. Take off! Great shot! Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Take off. Jesus, miss!
Warning.
Locked on us.
Warning.
Missile approaching. Die! Die!
Caution. Alert. Body damage.
Don't
Alert.
let bogey on
Body
our 6.
damage. Alert.
Here.
Body
Enemy
damage.
targets located.
Alert. Body damage. Alert.
right.
Body damage.
Enemy up ahead. On our right. Fire. Up ahead.
Warning.
Bogey on our
Alert. Body
6.
damage. Alert. Body
On our right.
damage. Alert.
Enemy
Body
in sight.
damage.
Up
Alert.
ahead.
Body damage.
Fire.
Alert.
Put it
Body
down.
damage.
Wait. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our right. On our right. Up ahead. On our left. Up ahead. Jesus, miss. Up ahead. On our left. Up ahead. Jesus, miss. Great shot. Don't let him get away. Stay with him. Wasted. Mission accomplished.
Our recon work has identified the last fuel depot. Go and bomb it flat. Target: a group of fuel production bases. The enemy is using its top guns in this theater. Keep focused and good hunting.
Ready? Right now! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Altitude too low. Fly!
Caution.
On
Low
our left.
altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Fly!
Low altitude. Caution. Low altitude.
Altitude too low. Fly!
Caution. Low altitude.
Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Take off! On our right! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy on our right! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution.
Bogey on our tail! Take off! Bogey on our tail! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. On our right! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution.
Bogey
Low
on our tail!
altitude.
Take off! Bogey on our tail! On our left! Enemy in... Up ahead! On our left!
Warning.
Locked on us! Bogey on our tail! Missile approaching! Dive! Dive! Enemy... Up ahead! Western on our left! Enemy target bogey on our 6! Jesus! Miss! On our right! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our... Enemy target located. Take off. Enemy target located. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Take off. On our left. Up ahead! On our left! Enemy in sight! Enemy in sight! Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy target located! Enemy in sight! Enemy in sight! Jesus! Miss! Locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Take altitude too low. Flying. Up ahead. Enemy close to 12 o'clock. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
On our left. Take off. Let's return to mission, buddy. I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Miss! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Up ahead! On our right! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail! Up ahead! On our left! Bogey altitude too low. Flying! On our left! Up ahead! On our right! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. On our left! Take off!
Warning. Warning.
Bogey on our 6.
Warning.
Locked on us.
Warning.
On our right!
Warning.
Missile
Caution.
approaching. Dive! Dive!
Alert. Body damage.
Jesus!
Alert.
Miss!
Body
Bogey on our
damage.
tail!
Alert. Body
On our
damage.
right.
Alert.
Bogey on our
Body
6.
damage.
On
Alert, body damage.
Take off! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Initial approach. Nine! And look on our tail! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot down! Jesus! Miss! Look on our tail! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution.
Enemy locked on closely on our 6. Enemy target located. On our left. Enemy in. Up ahead. Close at 12 o'clock. Enemy locked on target. On our right. Enemy is looking at 12 o'clock. Enemy locked on target. Look on our tail. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
Altitude too low. Flying. Up ahead. Up ahead. On our right. Bingo! Woohoo! Mission accomplished.
Our offensive operations are now concentrated on the Scorpion Island fortress. The base itself is a hard nut to crack, but we will isolate it by eliminating its bridge and central runway. Target: Red Suspension Bridge to the island and its Air Force base. There will be plenty of ACAC and SAM defenses around the runway. Go in for one pass, then break off operations.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Focus on our 6. Enemy target located. Take off! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail! Take off! Enemy in sight. Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution.
Up
Low
ahead!
altitude. Caution.
Too low. Flying!
Low altitude. Caution.
Enemy in. Focus on our tail!
Low altitude.
Too low.
Caution.
Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution.
Altitude low.
Caution.
Enemy locked on. Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Take off. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Quick shot. Take off. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low altitude.
Take off.
Caution.
Altitude too low. Flying.
Low altitude.
Enemy targets located.
Caution.
Jesus, missed. On our left. Enemy inside. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. On our left. Bogey on our tail. On our right. Bogey
Caution.
on our tail.
Caution.
Up ahead.
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body
Bogey on our
damage.
tail.
Alert. Body damage. Alert. Body
off.
damage.
West return to misses, buddy. On our right. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. On our bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Altitude too low. Flying.
Caution. Low
On our
altitude.
left. Altitude
Caution.
too low. Flying.
Low altitude.
Bogey on our tail. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying. Take off. Up ahead. On our right. Enemy locked on target. Take off. On our left. Bogey on our tail. Wingman has been hit. Enemy locked on target. Enemy targets located. Mission accomplished.
The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike could lay him out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Intelligence is sketchy on force composition near the headquarters, so keep on your toes. Fly low on your way in. Everything above the ravine is a SAM kill zone.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Toast! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Miss! Hook on her tail! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Toast! Hook on her tail!
The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike should lay him out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Intelligence is sketchy on force composition near the headquarters, so keep on your toes. Fly low on your way in. Everything above the ravine is a SAM kill zone.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Toast! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Miss! Hooked on her tail! Hooked on her tail! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Toast! Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Here! Post! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Boogie on our tail! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Boogie on our tail! I'm losing him! Mission accomplished.
Urgent message. Enemy giant airborne fortress discovered. This may be your final task. Eliminate it before it reaches our airspace. Good luck. Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Boogie on our tail! Enemy target located. On our left! Up ahead! On our left! Boogie on our tail! Enemy locked on target.
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body
Locked on
damage.
target.
Alert, body
Bingo!
damage.
Enemy target
Alert,
located.
body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy in sight.
Caution.
Quick shot! Quick shot! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy in sight. Jesus, miss! Jesus, miss! Jesus, miss! Great shot! Enemy locked on target. Great shot!
Caution.
Great shot!
Caution.
Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Great shot! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Jesus, missed! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy in sight. Great shot! Bingo! Woohoo! I'm losing him!
Congratulations. The enemy has capitulated and the coup has failed. The rightful government has been restored to this peaceful country. Your skill as top guns changed the balance. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you.